up in your dome? What's up in your dome?
Break that shit.
Hello and welcome to Digging in the Dome.
Hola.
Hola. Que pasa? It is 11.
Dos cervezas, por favor.
Yes.
It's 11 a.m.
It's
I'm drinking a Miller Lite.
Well, it is Memorial Day weekend, so, you know.
Yeah.
It is Stinko de Mayo.
Pour one out for your fallen soldiers.
Yes. And by that, we mean the Sixers who got ousted from the playoffs in unceremonious fashion.
Unceremoniously.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah. And then unceremoniously, their coach was removed from coaching.
And now Kevin said, I don't care if they win the series. I want them to fire Doc Rivers right after this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I couldn't have agreed more because the guy stinks. But the crazy part is, it sounds like he might actually get a job with Phoenix. It's between him and Nick Nurse.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He's really good in the regular season. He just has no ability to adjust to postseason game plans. And as soon as somebody takes it out of, he doesn't know what to fucking do.
Yeah.
Doesn't know when to call timeouts, doesn't know how to make the defensive adjustments. I've been banging the gong for Frank Vogel for over a year now for him to coach the Sixers. He interviewed with the Sixers.
Yes.
I'm praying that they hire him.
Yes.
For me and for the good of the team.
Yes.
I feel bad for Frank if they do hire him, because I feel like that team is going to, I think they're going to let hard and walk. And I think they're going to, my thought is they're going to do another like process 2.0, like where they're going to
let a whole bunch of people go.
They're going to get Tobias in that contract out of there. They're going to get Harden in that contract out of there. And they're going to try to build around Embiid while he has like two or three years left and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But prepare for the worst.
Yep.
Because they don't have a draft pick until a first round draft pick for like the next 4 years.
I know they're doomed in terms of like, they're not building it.
And
through
they
draft
can't
capital.
trade any of their first round picks until 2030.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It's crazy. So it's not, I think the best way to classify is it's not good.
Yeah. They knew that team's future. But onto brighter and more fun and entertaining things. Let's talk about Chris getting shit-faced and passing out his own party. And I'll put a picture up.
Yes. Let's Quentin Tarantino this back a little bit. I'm allowed to give context. That's
all that needs to be said. Moving on.
No. So we had, let's back up because I don't think anyone knew about this party. So we were having a party with a live band that we had been planning since like
months,
December.
Yeah.
Like
months and months of planning.
So, and of course, like, because God, if there is a God, which I definitely don't think there is now, because I prayed, please, Lord, don't let bad things happen.
You used all your Catholicism points up.
Oh my God. What I was like 8. Are you kidding?
Like, I really want that BMX bike.
Oh, yeah. I was like, please, I will never ask for anything again. Oh, Lord.
Selling your soul to Millhouse like Bart.
So we were, we
prayed to the weather gods and failed miserably.
Well, to put it mildly, like the fucked up part about it is that every day preceding
for
and every
2
day
weeks
and every day after and since, it's like a fucking drought.
Yeah.
It's like Waterworld.
It rained once since then.
Yeah.
And that was the day of the party.
Well, it said like, it was like sun. And then it was like, not even like 100% chance of rain, because at that point you're like, all right, well, I'm going to bag it.
Yeah. If it's 100%.
It was like 50%.
Yeah.
It's like, here,
roll the dice.
Yeah.
Roll the dice with the expensive band electronics outside.
So anyway, there was many a meltdown happened, many the gnashing of teeth, the pulling of hair.
Ultimately pulled it off.
You
had to move it up a couple hours.
And by the way, did not rain until 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah. Not even a fucking spritz.
Yep. It all worked out.
But wait, hold on. Wait, just don't fucking fast forward to me, motherfucker.
Prepare to forward.
No. He just wants to get to the part where I'm embarrassed.
Yes.
not surprisingly. So
1,000% correct.
So needless to say, when we decided that we were going to move the party up, like we had already kind of resigned ourselves. So we were going to 100% cancel.
Right.
We were
you texted me and you were like, we're moving it to tomorrow at 1.
Yeah. And then we decided, and talking to a few people, we're like, look, like we have tents. We can put things over the equipment. If the band's comfortable with it, then we can move it back a couple hours. And the rain wasn't really supposed to hit into the evening anyway.
Right.
So we started drinking like early, like today. Like we just started like we were like washing our woes in whiskey, right? So needless to say, and this is
in your case tequila
to kill you, and it did. So I'm running around like a maniac. I had not eaten. I did like the normal Saturday 1 hour workout at F45. Right. So all the things were in my metabolism.
Yeah, you stack a deck against yourself.
It was not smart.
Yeah.
Right. So then I didn't eat because I was too busy. Like I was making 1,000 hot dogs, setting up all that shit,
and doing all kind of prep work.
So anyway, then people were like, "Hey, I can't believe you pulled this off. Come do a shot with me," which included, you mentioned tequila, Fireball, whiskey, and but it was like tequila, whiskey. It was funny. Fireball, Fireball, whiskey.
You said
tequila.
no to Jägermeister, like that was going to save you. Like I can't do Jäger.
But everything else is fine. They're like, I'm like,
that's how your thought process was going. Like if I do Jäger, I'm fucked.
This is fermented yak piss from the fucking Himalayas.
It doesn't.
I'm like, all right, I'll drink that. But is it Jägermeister? It's not coming in a green bottle with a fucking weird deer head on it. Is it?
Cross on it.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. So, needless to say, I was in out of sorts when a good friend of mine gave me a chocolate edible that was extremely strong.
Yeah.
And so sometimes what happens with me, this is not uncommon, is that I get to a point where I'm like, okay, if I don't like go away for a bit, I
have to go now.
I'm not gonna live. I was like Poochie. And that was actually it, because that was me up the stairs.
Yep, because Chris died on his way back to his home planet.
I did. So I crashed in the bed. I just need to rest a little bit. And that little bit was about 45 minutes. And then Kevin found me.
Yeah. I was like, where the fuck is this kid? And I was like, I bet he passed out.
And he was correct. So and you'll see the picture of me sleeping with a book, which is perfectly named Stay Awake. Hilarious, dude. Fucking hilarious. But then I did rally a little bit, came back downstairs. Everything worked out. Thank God, because it was a fun party. Everyone had a good time.
Yeah.
2 people ate shit on my deck. I didn't
fell?
Like, yeah, because they were hammered.
Too intoxicated?
Yes.
You're like, no insurance claims.
Yeah, I had people sign waivers on the way in. They didn't realize it. They did that when they signed the Evite. There's like little terms and conditions thing.
A sign on the door when you walk in. It was
the other funny thing was
abandon all hope ye who enter here.
Yeah, exactly. So Kirk, one of our friends in the neighborhood, was also hammered.
Yeah, and
Namita, his wife, was like, they were going back home and she was like, you spilled the beans. He's like, what did I say? He's like, no, you actually spilled the beans. It's like knocked all her beans over.
That's great.
That was great. I got to do literally a few minutes of stand up in between sets, which was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time, man. It was a good party.
We pulled
it off. Dude. Except for you just getting crunk and passing the fuck out. Everything went off swimmingly.
Oh my God, so much drinking.
Yeah, it was a good time. But now you have all this lovely alcohol left over.
Yeah, so then the other thing, like, because I come from an Italian mother where my mom has taught me that it's better to have too much than not enough.
Feel you.
Well, the too much part migrated. Well, we had plenty of food. Everyone because I made like a bunch of hot dogs and I wrapped them up like it was $1 Dog Day and stuck them in a cooler.
Yeah,
which was
everybody ate.
Everybody ate. But the booze was like,
well, you know why? Because you got a keg, and most people were drinking the beer.
The keg too, which is crazy.
I was drinking. I was like, I'm gonna drink keg beer. Fuck it. It's lower alcohol, so I can crush these for a while and hang out. I'm not doing 80 shots of tequila like Chris is, so I'll just stick to the keg beer.
Smart boy. One of the other funny things was when I brought all the stuff home, Colin was like, "Why did you get rum? Like, who drinks rum?"
Yeah,
Rumpelstiltskin.
You don't know what rum is? Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin was a good man.
He was. I said, well, I mean, I think people do like rum. Like, people drink rum.
So how much rum is left?
None.
Really?
Drank it, the whole fucking thing.
Wow.
Gone.
That's
I was
crazy.
shocked. Right? So she was even like, where's the rum? I'm like, they drank it all.
Oh, man.
Bitch, I was right. I thought,
wow, I saw like you had like 5 handles of vodka, like
6 handles of vodka.
6 handles of vodka.
We still have a couple left.
Yeah, couple.
I mean, 2 3/4.
Okay, there you go.
And that was a week ago.
That'll be 2.5 by the time we get this podcast done.
Probably.
So let's go.
So anyway, all right, yeah. So what else? I just wanted to hit a couple of things. So things are going well on the stand-up front. I'm doing actually doing getting to get to do some weekend stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Getting invited to stuff, and the comedy community is pretty cool, which is awesome. So shout out to all those guys at Soul Joel's.
The local comedy club.
Yeah. A couple of those guys
officially open, by the way. The Comedy Dome is officially open for the summer. The Dome
is open. Yeah, Jamie Kennedy kicked it off.
Yeah. I didn't know how old Jamie Kennedy was. I thought he was my age. And then I saw him. I'm like, he looks way older than us.
Yeah,
and then I looked up and he's 52.
He's 52?
Yeah, dude. I was like, holy fucking shit. I didn't know Jamie Kennedy was that much older than us.
So
he's from Upper Darby.
No. I know where he's from. I'm like physically. I'm just wondering, I'm trying to remember the first thing I saw him in. Was it
for me, it was the movie that he was in with Nick Swardson, Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah. that movie's very funny.
Yeah. Cal Penn's in that movie too.
He is.
The movie's fucking ridiculously
stupid.
I
don't. I'm trying.
He had a show on
Scream, right? Was he in Scream? Or am I making that up? No, he was in Scream. He was in the original Scream. That's what I saw him in first.
I confused him a lot with Seth Green in that time area.
Oh, yeah,
they kind of cross the streams a little bit.
Because they kind of look a little bit alike.
It's like, Seth Green's like the ginger version of Jamie Kennedy. So, but yeah, that time frame, he was like crazy popular. He was on MTV and shit like that all the time. But yeah, he was just at Soul Joel's. They had the Amish comic.
The Amish comic?
Yesterday.
With Jebediah? I don't know who was that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, look it up.
The Amish comic.
Yeah, look.
The thing about not having electricity is it sucks.
This dude looks straight like his whole persona is an Amish stand-up
comedian. Let's see. Raymond the Amish comic.
Yeah, he was just there yesterday, I think, at Soul Joel's.
I'll put a picture of him up there. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, he looks Amish as fuck.
Give it to me buggy style.
Oh, Jebediah. Nay. The Raymond the Amish comic debuts at Soul Joel's. Yeah, it was on the 26th. So, he does how about this? An evening with Raymond the Amish comic. He's doing his one-man show.
Just in case,
yes.
2-drink minimum.
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking move on.
All right, we can move on. All right, so let's get into Stinko de Mayo. Where would you like to start? I'll give you privilege to choose the first bracket, and I'll do the next one.
Let's see. I want to do fads because it's the one I'm most curious about.
Okay.
See what moved on because it's it's totally subjective.
Yep. So we got a lot of votes. We had a lot of brackets come in, which was great. So the one thing I'll say, before we even get into it, we'll do this per bracket. We'll do it holistically first, and then we'll do it per bracket. Of all of the competitors,
right? The people that actually submitted physical brackets.
No, not the people the people that are in the actual tournament. Where do you think the most lopsided victory was? What bracket and what contender?
Oh God. Lopsided victory?
Yes. Because I mean, if you think about it, there were some that were like, I feel really strong about this particular.
Usually the lopsided victories happen in music.
Okay.
So I'm going to say music.
You would be correct.
And then which one do I think was the most lopsided victory?
And we'll get to who it is in a minute, but we won't spoil it for you.
I'm not sure.
When we get there, you'll talk about it. Yeah. All right, so now let's talk about this particular bracket.
Fads.
Because by far, you're right. This was
the closest.
Every single one was incredibly close.
Got it.
So what I mean that is nobody got more than 60% of the votes.
Okay.
So if you think about it, 50-40, that's 55, 45, right. That's really, really close. Okay. So, and we did in the bracket, we'll have to figure this out. We did have one tie.
Oh, we'll flip a coin. That's what we always do.
That's what we always do. All right. So we'll start with Crocs versus Hoverboard.
The Hoverboard?
The Hoverboard. So
Hoverboard.
Hoverboard. Now, so the one, just before we get into who won this one, I sent you a picture. We'll throw a picture up. Crocs is still a thing.
Oh
obviously.
God, yeah, they're super popular,
and
they're more popular now than they were when they came out.
I found a couple of
people love fucking Crocs now, which may have influenced the vote.
Yeah, maybe.
Because people like Crocs now.
Yeah, so
my kid had a pair of Crocs on today when he was out playing in his water table.
We talked about this before.
Yeah,
perfectly fine for kids.
Yeah.
The two things that I saw that were enhancements, developments in the world of Croc. It's a crock of shit. Were headlights on the Crocs.
Yeah, you sent me that picture. Yep.
Because you know what? When I'm walking around, I want to be able to see what's in front of my feet.
Yeah, my rubber shoes. And then Healy Crocs, which seems very safe. Yeah. My ankles would turn to dust.
Oh, man.
My feet would be on backwards.
There's no support on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
You're done.
My feet would be on backwards.
Now, hoverboards, on the other hand, like I didn't like when I think of hoverboard, and I think that you too, like when you think of the concept of a hoverboard, you think of Back to the Future.
Well, of course. Yeah. But because that was the coolest thing ever, but it's not a realistic thing.
Right. There's not like there's no one's flying around the Green Goblin fucking glider.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yes. So,
there's no magnetic polar distribution board that's been invented yet, unfortunately.
Not
for
yet.
us.
Not yet. All right. So,
not that I wouldn't fall off of it and break my neck instantaneously.
So this was very close. But with 58.6% of the votes, Crocs is moving on.
Crocs moves on. All right.
And it was pretty much like the one voting group that actually flipped this and was more hoverboard than Crocs was on Facebook.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay. So now we get to selfie stick versus Google Glasses.
Yes.
Now, one thing I was looking up some facts about Google Glasses. When do you think they finally shut down production on it?
Oh, I would have to say fairly recently.
March 15th, 2023.
Yeah.
So they were like, maybe we can make this work up until like
a week ago.
Yeah. Which is weird because it was banned in the UK because people were just what we talked about. People were driving around like, granny porn. Rear end into an actual granny.
Actually rear ended an actual granny.
Right.
They were very stupid. I know I talked to people who had no idea what they were.
Oh yeah, they were like,
no clue
Google Glass. What are you talking
Google
about?
Glasses, and I had to explain to them what they were, and they're like, "Wow, that's stupid." And like, yeah, no shit. That's why it's in the fucking field. But my son's mother was like, she's like, selfie sticks. She's like, selfie sticks are fine. Like they at least they have a purpose. I'm like, yeah, but you look like a fucking goober when you use it. And she's like, all right, that's true.
Yes, that's
like,
true.
You look ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
you're an ass.
Yeah.
So the other thing that is interesting about the Google Glass is, and I forgot about this, the big problem with Google Glass and why people really didn't like them was because if you winked like twice, you would be taking pictures of people. So it was a big privacy thing. It's like,
okay.
You could like, if I'm taking a picture of
everybody thought they were like, thought they were fucking spying on people.
Right.
Or being total creepers.
Right.
Fucking dudes laying on escalators. Glasses on.
Yeah. Is that guy okay? He's just blinking a lot. I don't know. Is he having a seizure? No, he's just getting a whole lot of fattening.
A whole lot of skirts.
Yeah. Now the selfie stick, I looked up some facts around this. How many selfie related deaths do you think there's been since say 2000?
Due to the selfie stick?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Since 2000?
Well, whenever they were out,
2010.
Yeah.
It's whatever. So we'll say 2010. So the last 13 years, I'd say, I don't know, 50.
379.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's like people taking selfies and falling off of buildings and stuff like that.
The kinds of death that we're talking about. Electrocution, transport.
Stick into a fucking power lines.
Yeah, 20-year-old man was electrocuted after climbing on the top of a train to take a selfie with friends, which is also super smart.
Oh yeah, yep.
A lot of these things are train related. Two people walking near a train track when a train approached them. One was trying to take a selfie, and man. The train won.
Trains look like they go in slow. They are not.
It's used so this is I'm gonna just rattle off a list of transport, meaning like train or car,
yeah.
Electrocution, transport, fall, fall, firearm. What?
Somebody discharged a firearm with their selfie stick?
Someone shot at someone for looking like an asshole. A 15-year-old boy was critically wounded after accidentally shooting himself while taking a selfie.
There you go.
Well, he had the gun in his
hand.
He's like, so it's like kind of like the toe trigger. It's like, it's very, very difficult. Drown, fall, transportation. So it's either like you get electrocuted, you fall, or you shoot yourself because you're an asshole.
Exactly.
And this is
so who won?
Okay. with a 53.6% of the vote, Google Glasses moves on, which was surprising to me.
That's an upset.
That is an upset.
That is a 2-seed.
It was a 2-seed got beat, and it was mostly Instagram.
That's good news for me because that eliminates your 2-seed.
Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, that eliminates your 2-seed.
Yes, that hurt me.
Yes.
Okay. So next up, we had the Harlem Shake and planking.
So these are both like stupid, dumbass trends.
Yes.
I mean, 6 of one, half dozen the other in my book.
Well, I really I didn't there's not really anything to research on these. When I was like trying to like figure out some fun facts about the Harlem Shake, right? There's nothing interesting about it. I'm like, hey, what happened to the guy in the pink shirt that was like, what happened to the guy with the alligator helmet or whatever he was wearing? Like, no one knows. Hopefully they're dead.
It was a silly trend that came and went quickly as it should.
Yeah, and hopefully people.
I'm sure there was planking related deaths.
Oh yeah,
People actually, let me plank on top of this.
Planking related injuries. Now I gotta know. Related deaths. Yeah. Oh, wait. When I started doing it, autocorrect came in with per year.
Oh, okay.
Okay. An internet meme goes bad. Man dies while planking.
There we go.
20-year-old man fell to his death while participating in an internet craze where people lie flat on their stomachs. Oh my God, people are such idiots. What did he do?
Yeah, so people did die.
Oh, he fell off of a balcony.
Yeah, there you go.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And people are planking in front of the White House lawn. I hope the fucking Secret Service tased them. All right.
You're on watch list now.
Yeah. So now this is, again, a very close one, but with 53.3% of the vote. Planking beat the Harlem Shake. Yeah, my number 3 seed got ousted. Yeah. Again, this has all been real close, man. In that particular scenario, it was...
we said it was pretty even. So.
It was pretty even. The brackets and Facebook were really the driver of most planking. Of the votes.
Okay, cool.
All right. And finally, wrapping up, Jeggings versus YOLO.
It's got to be YOLO.
This one was very surprising to me. Well, Jeggings are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But you are absolutely correct. At 61.3% of the vote, YOLO won.
Even though YOLO was a higher was a lower seed, it still is very terrible.
People don't like it. Now, what I didn't, I was like, all right, because again, trying to do a little bit of research on these things to figure out, like any kind of background on it. And YOLO has 2 movies titled YOLO.
Oh God.
One is a horror movie, and the other is one about dating, and they're surprisingly highly rated.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you watch the horror movie one yet?
No.
Okay.
You would think it's Yoda. You only die once.
Yeah. It's Yoda.
Yoda.
Oh.
Stupid this trend is.
Exactly.
All right,
cool.
So now what we have in terms of like who's going to be battling each other, it's going to be Crocs versus planking.
Yep.
I don't feel very good for planking. And YOLO versus Google Glasses. And again, I think that you may be taking the fads bracket. Fuck you. All right. So now
you pick next.
Let's move to TV.
Okay.
I'll get that out of the way. There were a couple landslide victories, or like more lopsided victories, and we did have a tie.
Okay,
so we'll get to it. All right, so we have Work It versus hashtag FWBL.
So bad.
Yeah, I think that when I was talking to people that were submitting brackets,
everybody asked me what the fuck hashtag FWBL is.
Yes.
And then I had sent them a picture and they were like, what? James Vanderbeek?
The same reaction that I had. I didn't know that he had so many kids. Like,
oh yeah.
James Vanderbeek leaves it in.
He's got like 6 kids.
All right,
he's gray as a mule now because of it.
All right, so this one was fairly lopsided. Again, the 1 seed beat the 8 seed with 66.7%.
It's the most ridiculous show.
It's again bosom buddies 20 in the
2010s, and it was 0%. I want to remind people that it got not one positive percentage from anyone in the known universe of critics. The show. That's how terrible Work It is.
Yeah. So you think about it, like, again, you said it before, like if this like came out now,
people would never make it to air.
No, they would have to make it a drama. If it was like actual people, like dudes, like we have to be able to feed our kids, but we also like to transition.
Like look at all the shit that's going on with fucking Target right now.
Oh yeah,
and like it's one ridiculous for them to like put like
who cares?
Like people don't get mad that women like there hasn't been women's clothing has been in stores for ever.
Yes, forever.
So nobody ever got mad when they walked into the women's section. Like, this isn't for me. I hate it. Fucking burn this store down.
Yeah. It's like,
but like, who cares? Who cares if a fucking swimsuit has a fucking tuck rule in it? Like, I don't give a fuck. It's not for me. I don't care. I walk past the section. I don't get mad.
Right. It's like I go get past like the child's clothes section. It's like, what the fuck?
These don't fit.
These don't fit me. Well, actually, for me, maybe.
Sweet Elmo shirt.
Oh yeah, why not? By the way, did you see the video I sent you? The Tickle Me Elmo with no skin on it?
with no
it's
fur.
Fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
So this may be the scariest thing you've ever seen.
But yeah, so I mean, so I can't imagine if this show came out now or tried to come out now, people would lose their fucking marbles.
Right.
At like fucking on both sides of the fence. It would offend everyone. Equally offend everyone.
Exactly. All right. So now we get to Southern Fats Honey Boo Boo versus H8R.
Okay. Again, someone had to ask me what the fuck that was.
Right.
And I basically explained it.
You just said Mario Lopez and they were like,
just kind of looked at me like with disdain, like, that existed. I'm like, that was a thing.
That was a thing.
It was only 3 episodes.
Yep.
But it was a thing.
Yep. And then they were like, this is probably not a great idea. Not just because putting the 8 in the middle of an H and an R is kind of douchey. So with 80% of the votes, the Fats roll on.
Oh, yeah.
Not surprisingly. Mario Lopez is like the Sixers. He makes it in the tournament every year. He's always out very early.
Exactly.
Okay. Next up, we have Rob versus Alan Gregory. Now I wanted to see, because I was like, because like,
I don't think a lot of people knew what Alan Gregory was.
Unless
they were like fans of like,
if they were Fox people,
Family Guy, Simpson, the animated Fox shows, you would know, because at that time they were blasting the promos for Alan Gregory at the time, and you were like, oh, this doesn't look very good. And guess what? It wasn't very good. It was like the Cleveland show when they tried to do the Cleveland spinoff of
My name is Cleveland and I am here to say. I like the
intro song.
The intro song.
Yeah. But like
as good friend.
But that's what the time that they were throwing Alan Gregory around in.
Yeah. So I wanted to see, just because I was curious, Rob Schneider had. We talked about like
Rob Schneider is a stapler.
So he, I was like, what has he been doing? Right. So he's been working pretty consistently. Like, so the last
outside of Adam Sandler handouts,
and a lot of them are still Adam Sandler. Like, you don't mess with the Zohan was 2008, but that was before this. And so he hasn't done like anything. A lot of voice work. Yeah. And then he just did a movie with...
He puts out a lot of like conservative think pieces and stuff like that too. He's very politically involved.
Well, that was the other thing I saw like in his wiki. So it says political party. And this is when you know that politics is pretty much bullshit. So it says from 1984 to 2013, he was a Democrat.
Right. Yeah.
And then he was like, well, that's not working for my career.
Yeah.
So from 2013 to 2017, he said, I'm a Republican.
Right.
And now from 2017 to present, he's an independent.
Yeah.
I'm a libertarian. Like, what else are you? You fucking octopus? Jesus Christ, dude.
Political octopus.
So I wanted to see like the last...
Rob Schneider's new movie, Political Octopus.
Yeah. It's like an octopus with a fucking suit on.
He has a very famous musician daughter too.
Oh, what's her name?
I can't remember her name.
The X's and O's girl, right?
Yeah.
Ellie King? Is that?
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that's his daughter.
That's his daughter. So he started in a movie called recently in 2022 called Daddy Daughter Trip. Okay. And it also has surprisingly John Cleese. I don't know what kind of pictures he had of John Cleese, but
can we get to the voting?
Yeah, 1 second.
Going down the fucking Rob Schneider rabbit hole.
Just for the Schneider hole.
Schneider hole.
I'll stick it in my Schneider hole. No, but I just wanted to...
Thankfully, I will not.
We are going to be talking about this movie when we do...
This movie?
The Daddy Daughter Trip.
Oh, okay. In the future? Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be in contention, if not an honorable mention. So that vote...
Rob.
Versus Alan Gregory?
Yeah.
53.8% of the vote went
to Rob. A lot closer than I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think many people would know what Alan Gregory was, but they would know who Rob Schneider is and instantly vote for it.
Exactly.
That's what my thought process was.
So the last one we have was the tie. The only tie we had, dads versus We Are Men.
Well, it's basically the same goddamn show.
That's probably why people were like, I don't know what the difference between these things
exactly.
are. So
it's just it's like two shows trying to be 2.5 men.
Since it's your picks,
I'm
going to let you flip it.
No, you flip it. I'll call it.
So which one's going to be what?
Heads will be the higher seed.
That's
so dads. Yeah. Okay. Heads will be dads. Heads, tails. What do we got?
Heads. Dads
moves on. All right. Cool.
All right. There you go.
They're basically just 2.5 men ripoffs.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Same shit.
All right. Let's take a break.
And then we'll be right back and we'll do the rest of the brackets. Do you like beer? Of course you do. But not any beer will do. Absolutely not. The Dome Pieces are people of discerning taste that require a delicious craft beer to celebrate the joys of life or wash away the workday. Well, Slack Tide Brewing has just the tasty cold adult beverage you desire. Slack Tide Brewing was founded in 2015 by Jason and Ted Campbell, two brothers raised in Cape May County, New Jersey, where your delightful hosts also happen to be from. And their philosophy is simple. Create a diverse, high-quality line of beers made with all-natural ingredients, sourced locally whenever possible. And to make Slack Tide Brewing a destination in Cape May County where locals feel at home and visitors look forward to returning. Their beers have won multiple awards from the New York International Beer Competition, Philadelphia Brewvitational, GIBC MSC, and the Great American Beer Festival, just to name a few. Not only are their beers available in bars, restaurants, and distributors all across the great state of New Jersey, their beers are now available in the state of Pennsylvania. If you don't see it at your local watering hole, grocery store, or beer distributor, you need to spread the word and tell them that they need to ride the tide. Slack Tide Brewing is currently located at 1072 Route 83 in Claremont, New Jersey, but will soon be breaking ground on a new 9,000 square foot facility on Route 9 in Swainton, New Jersey. Check out their website, slacktidebrewingco, that's co.com, and their Facebook and Instagram pages, Slack Tide Beer, for merchandise, current availability, and upcoming releases. And please, make sure to tell them that Digging in the Dome sent you. Slack Tide Brewing. Ride the tide. Must be 21 or older to drink. Please drink responsibly. All right, and we're back. You heard from Slack Tide. So before we get into the next brackets, I wanted to propose something to you.
Okay.
Something we talked about a little bit downstairs.
Okay.
Wait, hold on a second. Now my paranoia is kicking in.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, sweet. Oh, good. All right, you're recording. Good. And I also am recording. All right, fine. So, we do this every year.
Mm-hmm.
And I always liked, and we are big fans of gambling. And I'm not suggesting that we bet any money, but I was thinking we could bet something horrible. That's why the
like one chip.
Not that. We should calm down.
I propose one chip.
I was going to say
one chip.
Just my stomach, man. Come on. I was going to say because this is not. I don't even know why I'm saying this because this is like so bad if I lose.
Right.
I would, as if I lost, I would be willing to watch all of the Fast and Furious movies
in a row.
Not in one sitting. No. What do you think? I'm not going to kill myself.
Like a whole weekend straight through.
I make it to Tokyo Drift, and you'd see me my fucking feet dangling in front of a camera. But then you would have to do something equally as horrible, or we could just do the stupid shit. I don't really want to do that.
I don't necessarily want to either.
I know.
But if first of all, you've won this thing 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. So I would really have to believe in myself to think that I'm going to somehow break the streak.
I believe I can fly.
The fucking Chicago Bulls three-peat. Like I can't imagine where a scenario where I'd be willing to bet on myself.
Yeah.
At this point. It's been,
okay. That's fair.
It's been a rough 46 years, so I'm not exactly wanting. This is the year it turns around for Kev.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not.
I would say no, I don't want to bet. Okay. At least not yet. Let's see how far we get to see where things pan out.
Okay, fair enough.
Once we get closer to knowing like the final 8.
Then we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so I chose the last one. You get to choose either music or movies.
I'm going to go with music.
All right, music. Okay. So, first up, we had Psy versus Kesha.
Right. A surprising number of people in my life did not know who Psy was, and I had to tell them, "Oh, Gangnam Style." And then once I said Gangnam Style, one person was like, "Who's PSY?"
Yes. PS5? I'm not voting for that.
Pussy. PSY.
It's missing a U and an S. It's missing us. That's right. Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Chris writes that down in his little notebook.
Where's my pen? I'll remember that. So I looked up a little bit about Psy real quick, just because I wanted, and Kesha, we know a lot about her, and we don't want to go back down the fucking rabbit hole of her horrible stuff, but
Kesha was very popular. Some of her music is incredibly catchy.
Yep.
Again, she was under a horrible recording contract where she didn't want to make music anymore, and they basically told her, "We will sue you if you don't continue to put out albums for us. Oh, and you're not going to get paid either." So she was like making music basically for free.
Yeah, she's being held hostage
up until the point of when her recording contract ran out.
Yeah.
But she also got there was also some shit with like, pictures getting stolen. Remember that whole stuff, all that shit.
It was a very tragic situation. Yeah. So instead of talking
but it doesn't preclude her from the horribleness that is her music.
She did participate. She could have run away.
But my guess is that she got beat down by Psy.
Well, let me talk about Psy for a second, because the one thing that I was really surprised about was like the dude hasn't aged. I know they say black don't crack, but apparently yellow don't mellow either. Because he looks identical to when he was like doing the fucking doing this song. So now he's like, he still makes music,
right? But
he's now like this massive producer.
Okay.
So I guess like Gangnam Style, because it had like we said like 4 billion views or some shit.
Almost 5 billion views.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money off of that.
He made a lot of money, and then he turned that into a production.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably produces like K-pop and shit like that.
That's exactly
where the money,
what he does.
That's where the money is.
His label is called, his company's called P Nation, which is also R. Kelly's. That's the place that he wants to live the most, in P Nation.
I wanna piss on you.
I wanna piss on you, pee on you. Dude, that was so
Dave
goddamn
Chappelle.
Funny.
Dave Chappelle, fucking
genius.
Never ever.
That is evergreen funny stuff. Okay, so
did Psy win or not?
This was a very lopsided victory.
You draw this out as
83.3% of the vote went to Psy.
Yeah, of course.
Kesha has been released from her contract. Stinko de Mayo.
Psy was clearly the number one choice in this bracket. It was not even close.
Yes.
That time period, he was. It's a terrible song. It was super duper popular.
Yep.
But again, popularity does not preclude terribleness.
That is
Stinko de Mayo.
100% correct.
All right.
Number 2. Rebecca Black versus the Chainsmokers. Now, this was also lopsided, but there were a decent amount of votes for the number 7 seed, the Chainsmokers, but it just could not hang with Rebecca Black.
I heard people like, I like the Chainsmokers. And I'm like, ugh.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You know what? I forgot to do this. I apologize. I just wanted to go back to TV for a second because I didn't say who's going against each other next round.
That's fine. Rewind.
So, it will be Work It versus Rob.
Ooh.
That's going to be rough one.
Work it, Rob.
And then Honey Boo Boo versus Dads.
I did not feel good
versus Dads.
I do not feel good for Dads.
Neither do I. I mean, I feel bad for us, but
I always feel bad for us.
Yes. Okay. So Rebecca Black moves on.
Okay. What was the
75%?
Oh yeah,
75-25. I kind of felt like because everyone remembers that fucking song. I just met you. Oh, no, she's Friday.
Yeah,
Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Everybody remembers that fucking song. I'm like, she did a song about fucking?
She would get less votes by me. That was the case. Rebecca Black.
Yeah, it's Mr. Black.
That was like King Krusty.
Yeah, exactly.
Gentlemen, to evil.
There's never a shortage of Simpsons references in this podcast.
If you don't know the Simpsons, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
What is coming up Millhouse mean? Whose house? Mill's house.
Whose house? Ron's house. All right. So
now we move on to LMFAO.
Oh, man.
Versus Robin Thicke.
Now, I will say that I did not review much of this, but if I remember correctly, Robin Thicke was kicking the shit out of LMFAO on the Instagram votes at the time when I last looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it would not surprise me if Robin Thicke ended up defeating LMFAO. So where are we at?
Here we go. And I was actually checking to see if he's in jail yet.
Who?
Robin Thicke.
Oh, no, not yet.
No, he's still doing shit.
Yeah, he's definitely doing shit.
Yeah, he's still making music.
So
yeah. Anyway, so he
in my previous job, before this one, I did. A lot of people don't know what I do for work, but I work in financial unclaimed property. A lot of it
unclaimed freight.
A lot of it deals with estates and stuff like that. So we were recovering assets for Alan Thicke's trust. And we
Alan Thicke, his father.
We actually talked to Robin Thicke's brother, his older brother.
Is his name Richard Thicke? Dick Thicke?
Dick Thicke. He wishes, I'm sure.
It'll be unfortunate if it wasn't.
But yeah, he basically said that his brother Robin was not the brains of the operation.
That's not surprising to me. So I'm curious as to I don't know.
So LMFAO became famous because one of the two of them, I don't remember which one, guy with glasses or guy not with glasses. Which one of them has a famous father? One of their fathers was a famous producer.
The guys, it's Red Foo and Sky Blue.
Fuck you for having those names.
That's not very good. So Red Foo, his relatives are Kerry Gordy. Oh no, sorry, it's Barry Gordy Jr.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's all you needed to know. That's it. Yeah,
Barry Gordy, dude. He's the glasses guy.
Yeah, his dad is super duper rich.
Chu Wong Fu, whatever his name is. And Sky Blue, who's apparently I guess he still does. No, maybe he doesn't do music anymore.
Oh, not surprisingly. They came in, they were in and out. They came in, released
was the last thing he did.
Huge hit songs. They were terrible. Wiggle.
Yes. I'm sure that'll get played forever.
Oh, yeah. But, in perpetuity.
In perpetuity. But
they're getting that fucking syndication money.
For sure. But so what
Robin Thicke, my guess is Robin Thicke won.
Okay, with 62.5% of the votes, you are incorrect.
Oh wow.
LMFAO got Robin. I think you know what it was? I think it's because they had more terrible things that people remember. Right. Robin Thicke had one.
Yeah.
And people actually, until they found out that he was a creep, actually liked that song.
Right. Well, it's such a rapey song too.
It is so creepy.
If you read the lyrics to that song, it's fucking terrifying.
Well, let's see. Blurred lines, lyrics. Let's see how bad. I bet you they're terrible.
Yes, they are. I know.
I'm sure. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. All right. Hey. All right, we can get past that part. If you can't hear what I'm trying to say, if you can't read from the same page, maybe I'm going deaf, maybe I'm going blah. Right. Okay, now he was close, tried to domesticate you, but you're an animal.
Yeah.
Baby, it's in your nature. Just let me liberate you. You don't need no takers. That man is not your maker. All right. You're a good girl. You can't get it past me. And that's maybe like people trying to run away from him, groping them. You're far from plastic. Talking about getting blasted, which seems like a cum shot reference to me.
100%.
You're a good girl. The way you grab me, must want to get nasty.
Must want to,
right?
Yeah.
You do, right? I'm not trying to grab you. I'm trying to push you away. Stop grabbing at me.
Well, you must want me to do this,
of course,
because you're a dirty girl,
right? Exactly. You're
a fucking cum slut.
What do they make you?
Come here.
When you got what do they make dreams for? When you got them jeans on, and then it says why in parentheses, like why do you have them on? They should be gone. What do we need steam for? You the hottest bitch in this place. That doesn't even rhyme. Oh, wait. You the hottest bitch in this place. That's why. I feel so lucky. You want to hug me? No, I don't.
Yeah.
What rhymes with hug me?
Drug me? Thank you.
All right, you get the picture. This is fucking terrible.
Yes, it's horrifying.
I'm trying to say, wait, here you go.
It gets worse.
Okay. So let me be the one to you back that ass up. Go from Malibu to Paris, boo. Had a bitch, but she ain't as bad as you. So hit me up when you pass through. I'll give you something big enough to tear your ass in two.
Yeah, it's great.
Super. Yeah. So you're going to fuck me in the butt with something hard and huge? No.
Yeah.
All right. So.
I mean, his last name is Thick.
Well, and he did have I think what was his wife's name? Paula.
Poroskova?
No.
Poundstone.
No. Yeah. Fucking Ty. Yeah, I don't think it was it. I don't think it was her. I want to say it's Paula. Fuck. Paula. It starts with a P. The last name is Paula Patton. That's it. Okay. Paula Patton.
Okay.
She was smoking hot.
All right.
Anyway. So he
is ushered away.
Yes, we were able to
moved on.
Shit on him because he sucks. Now 6699.
I still call foul on this one.
You
because he didn't become unpopular until later in the 2010s.
We never said anything about popularity. It's all about when they came out and they started making music and they started becoming popular. You said it.
All right.
6699 versus Enrique Iglesias. And boy,
Enrique Iglesias got smoked.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't. This is the most lopsided, even worse than Psy. 88% of the vote went to Tekashi. Now,
okay, well, that's the one. I knew it would be in music.
So the interesting thing about, well, there's not a lot of interesting things about this fucking creep, but there was a rumor going around. This is one of the funny things about like social media and stuff like that. That he did gay porn. Okay. Right. So there was something on Twitter saying like, it was like a couple of weeks ago, it popped up, said Tekashi 6'9" in gay porn, you know, and
I mean, he's got 6'9" in his name.
Yeah. Yeah. Was he 69 with dudes? Yeah. He'll take a 6 or a 9 inch.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently
the parts fit better in that scenario.
That's a good point.
It's like a Lego.
Exactly. If you got a tall lady, you're like, why are you looking at my belly button? I can't get to the rest of it. I don't know.
Well, everybody's a tall lady.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's right. How about you put your knees up or something? Can I flip you over? Something. Can I put something underneath your back?
I'm like an ankle here.
Exactly. Can I jack you up like you're fucking a car with a flat tire? It'd be helpful for me. So I can get to your pussy. All right. But so the dude in the porn looked a lot like him, but it wasn't him. Okay. So that was disappointing. I was hoping that he was also gay.
It's like when they came out with the porn star that looked exactly like what's her name? That was the Alaska governor. That was running for president.
Palin?
Yeah, Nailin Palin.
Oh, who was that?
I can't remember her name.
Was it Lisa Ann?
I don't remember, man.
Nailin Palin. Let's see. Lisa Ann, I was right.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there you go.
Cruz, you're a creep.
No, I just
knew it right at the top of your head.
No, I knew it. I only actually.
Oh, what that porn did I have saved in my history?
Actually, you know what? It's fun. We at one point I think we should do a strangest porn category draft because there's some weird shit out there.
Well, yeah, no kidding.
You know,
it's all on your browser history.
No, it's really not. But the reason that I knew about that and it was at the top of mind was that she was just on Jim and Sam being interviewed. She was like promoting a book or something like that.
We are getting way off topic here. Let's move on.
Sure. All right. So for the music bracket, this is going to be very tough.
Okay.
Psy versus LMFAO, a 1 versus a 3, and Rebecca Black versus 6699.
All right. So
it's going to be tough.
I like having Rebecca Black up against him.
That's a really good matchup.
But I do not. But LMFAO is going to get
They're going to smoke by Psy.
Yeah. Is my opinion.
Don't
let my opinion sway you in your votes.
Well, not only that, we've done this so many times now, and there's always shocks. There's always things that like really surprise us. So now we're down to movies.
Yeah.
Movies, for the most part, were pretty even. Oh shit, we had another tie in movies.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
Fuck. Okay.
That's
all right. Well, we'll figure it out. All right. Anyway.
This is the category that Chris usually murders me in.
Yeah.
He's quite the movie buff.
I am. But and there was a lot of bad movies in the time. People mentioned somebody said something about like, what about this one? And this happens often too when you're talking about these things. Like
oh, you missed this.
It's like, yeah, but like, you know, we've already kind of established that like the chairman of the board, which was like the first winner, I think, of this tournament, isn't going to be the ones that we choose from now on because people don't know what they are. Yeah. So it's very difficult for people when they're like, I don't remember
made less than $200,000 at the box office.
Yes. Okay. So we had movie 43 versus a haunted house 2. Now, I did some research on a movie 43 just to kind of get some more baseline on it. And
because you got to remember, there were an immense amount of stars in this movie.
It was insane. So again, to run it down, it was Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Bell, Halle Berry, Gerard Butler, Seth MacFarlane, Leslie Bibb, Anna Faris, Richard Gere, Terrence Howard, Hugh Jackman, Johnny Knoxville, Justin Long, Chloe Grace Moretz, Chris Pratt. I forgot that he was in there. Yeah. Liv Schreiber, Emma Stone, Jason Sudeikis, Uma Thurman, Naomi Watts.
Yeah, it's
the list goes on and on. George Clooney, there was a lot of star power in this movie. So it was funny because once everything kind of once people realized this was a piece of shit, immediately when they were like, hey, we have to go do media tours, everyone was like, I don't want to. George Clooney promote this. George Clooney said no. Yeah. And then Richard Gere said, "Can you take my part out?"
It's awesome. I will repeat this. They made Hugh Jackman wear balls around his fucking neck.
Yes, that's embarrassing. I just watched.
You have neck balls.
You know, it's funny.
Hilarious.
I just watched for the second or third time. Just because I hadn't seen it in a while, Logan. It's such a good movie.
Fucking amazing.
But then you think...
fuck, my girlfriend, my son's mother, she fucking cried at that movie.
It was...
we saw it in a theater. It's heartbreaking. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's great because you just see, this...
People think a superhero movie. Oh, Wolverine.
It is not a superhero movie at all.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it really is. It does the depth of character and all that stuff, and the things that happen to these people that were essentially superheroes for a long part of their life. You just see them kind of degenerating. It's really
very few movies that I buy physically own, and I have that.
Yeah. So, but this one, he's wearing balls on his chin, and
instead of Wolverine claws.
They call it the Citizen Kane of awful. That's what Richard Roeper said.
It is one of the most preposterous movies you will ever see. If you ever see it, I really honestly hope that you don't.
Yeah, you probably should just avoid it.
So I'm assuming that it came in and stomped on the 8th seed.
Very close.
Really?
52.4% of the vote, though, for movie 43.
Because most people probably saw
A Haunted House 2,
or may have at least been more familiar with it, just because it's in that comedy bracket. People are probably steered more towards that.
Well, this was movie 43 was supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Someone sounds like someone's got the case of the supposed to.
Exactly.
He was in the remedial class with take out your circle of paper. Circle of paper. All right. So then we had The Cobbler versus Transformers 4.
People like Transformers a lot more than I thought they do. And this was a very, 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 very bad Transformers movie.
Yes.
Very bad. And if you like the source material, I can't understand how you wouldn't like that movie because it was fucking awful. But there's another Transformers coming out.
I was just about to say, coming out this summer, right?
Yeah.
What's this one about?
I don't know. Planet. It's they're apes and I don't know.
Planet of the Apes. Dr. Zayas. There's can you play the piano?
I don't know, man. There's a robotic King Kong or something. I don't fucking know, man. I can't keep track of it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but
cars and robots are the norm.
I can't.
Let's go. Let's transform.
I can't imagine the Transformers beating Adam Sandler with magic shoes. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, it would be
in a world gone mad.
It would be relatively improbable to see a world in where that would happen.
Where a Transformers movie would be considered worse than Adam Sandler's magic shoes.
And in the fourth most lopsided victory in this entire tournament with 79.2% of the votes. The Cobbler's
fucking terrible.
Nobbled he kicked the Transformers with his magic shoes.
Cobbler is a gobbler.
He is.
Of course.
All right. Now, number 3 versus number 6. The Devil Inside versus I, Frankenstein.
Man. Ooh.
So, one thing I will... Well, first of all, this was a tie. Okay. So I'm going to have to flip a coin.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you...
Yes.
How much money you thought The Devil Inside made?
Well, it was extremely because you got to remember it was at the found footage thing, right?
Yep.
So people
very popular at the time.
When this trailer came out, everybody was like, "Oh shit, this looks fucked up." Oh man, this is going to be like the next Blair Witch.
Yep.
And what ended up happening was when people actually got to the theater, they already paid for it, right?
Yep, they're there.
So once they got there, and watched the movie and found out that it was like a cliffhanger ending and you had to watch the end of the movie, you had to go to a fucking website.
Yes.
People lost their fucking minds. They wanted to burn the theater to the ground, but they had already paid. So I'm imagining that it made a pretty decent amount of money.
But just a guess.
I don't know, box office.
Now think about the time too, because it's a little bit earlier in the 2000s.
I would say 80 million.
$101 million.
Holy shit! I wasn't too far off as my guess, though.
The other thing that you have to remember, so this is leading somewhere, is when you have a movie like this and it's a found footage movie, it is also extremely cheap to make.
Yeah.
It cost $1 million to make.
Holy shit!
So it's one of the most commercially successful and profitable movies in history because of that. So. When a movie you don't have to spend that much money on like the marketing part of it. The cast is like generally unknown. Like there's nobody in it. Yeah. Like literally, the starring Fernanda Andrade.
Yeah.
And Simon Quarterman. I don't know who these fucking people are.
Yeah, they were like, let's Blair Witch this thing.
Randos. And they like very relatively. The director was unknown. The people that like so this cost like nothing
to make.
So. That led me to believe, I'm like, okay, I know Hollywood.
Yeah.
Did they try to make a sequel?
Yeah.
And in fact, it was on the table.
Yeah.
But I think that people were like, look,
no.
That first time, you got us.
Yeah.
Fool me once. You send me to a website again, I'm going to burn your studio down.
Well, the funny thing is that Haunted House 2 is a direct spoof of The Devil Inside.
Yep.
Because if you look at the promotional posters for a Haunted House 2, there's actually a picture that looks like one of the promotional posters from A Devil Inside. We'll put them up to show you next to each other where he's like pulling his lip down.
Oh yeah,
and in Devil Inside, it's like a upside down cross.
Yeah.
Or what do they call the upside down pentagram? One of those. But then in the Haunted House 2, it's like it says, I don't know, something fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's probably a dick or something like that.
Something like that.
Someone drew a dick in my mouth.
So I Frankenstein, which was the promotional poster just makes me laugh so much because there's a line on there that says it's 200 years later and he's still alive. That's the tagline you came up with?
Yeah. Oh,
still going. Like the fucking Energizer Bunny of fucking monsters. Keep charging up his neck bolts.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. And he's friends with fucking demons and
gargoyles and like it's again
preposterous.
Yeah, like I don't and so the other thing too is like I don't remember they called him Adam, which is obviously like a kind of an homage to Adam and Eve kind of thing. Like he's like the first man is Adam. So the first undead man, I mean, like, I don't know, like
the movie is ridiculous.
It's so dumb.
All right. So now gotta flip the coin.
Conversely, that one did 76.8% in the box office or 76.8 million in the box office and of the budget of 65 million.
Yeah. Not quite clear the money.
Yes. Not at all.
All right.
All right. So the higher seed was Devil Inside.
Yeah, so that'll be heads.
All right, here we go.
Flip
Ready?
it. Yep. Wait. Flip it, fuckface.
Heads.
All right.
Devil Inside.
Devil Inside.
Moving on.
All right, and last but certainly not least.
Okay, and that is Jonah Hex versus The Last Airbender. So I was just like curious too because we talked about the source material of The Last Airbender being very popular.
Yeah.
And
it was like one of the that's when outside of like Pokemon and shit like that, was like the anime and stuff like that was starting to become a little more mainstream with The Last Airbender. Obviously that's why they grabbed onto it because it started becoming popular. So let's fucking ruin it with a movie.
Yes.
Let's make M. Night Shyamalan direct it because he has no experience in any of this.
So all right. So again, this is always really interesting to me so this was the movie about the elementals fighting each other, all that bullshit, right? So a budget of $150 million made $319 million at the box office.
Shit. Well, you got to remember.
People thought,
it was
I'm going to go out and see something that is familiar to me from a source material standpoint. And then they were extremely disappointed. But people still were like, are they making a second one? And
the answer was?
The answer was not no for the reasons that you think though.
Right.
It wasn't no because they didn't think there was viable financial success around it. Right. They thought they could do it again and make some money. M. Night Shyamalan is staunchly against doing sequels, right, of these kinds of movies, which is funny because he did Unbreakable, then he did Glass, then he did Split. Yep. No, he did Split, then he did Glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which are
all three.
Sequels.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
I guess it's because it wasn't his material that he didn't want to do it. All right. So in the movie bracket, we got movie 43 versus The Devil Inside and the Cobbler.
Wait, who won? You didn't never said who won between Last Airbender and...
you're right.
What the fuck are you doing?
I was so excited about the fun fact I knew about M. Night. I just moved right on. All right. So this one was not as close as I thought it would be.
Okay.
The Last Airbender with 59.1% of the votes moves on.
Okay.
Which is kind of surprising. I guess people have forgiven Josh Brolin for...
Well, yeah, because he's Thanos.
Yeah, so you don't want to fuck with Thanos.
And he's Mikey.
He's also Mikey. Yes, from the Goonies.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, he's not Mikey from the Goonies.
Not Mikey. What was his name?
A brother. Oh, what's the brother's name? Oh, God damn it. Now I gotta look it up.
All right. Go on now.
Yeah, keep going. I'll look it up.
Mikey, he likes it. All right, so it's the movie 43 versus The Devil Inside, the Cobbler versus the ass bender.
The last ass bender.
Yeah, the ass bender is what I need when I'm trying to 69 a tall girl.
Let's see here. Brand.
Yeah,
Brand was his name. So the it's funny you were talking about like box office stuff.
Yep.
Because Bert Kreischer's The Machine came out this weekend. Hilarious, one of the premieres. Like, I mean, all these famous people are sharing it because it's just so ridiculous. Like The Rock.
So the premise is he does the thing that made Bert famous was he did a story on stage about him when he was in college, I think it was, right?
Technically what happened, it was when he was in college, but he became famous before that. What he was famous for was he was the basis of Van Wilder.
Oh, right. He was the party guy.
He was featured in Rolling Stone as the number one partier in all of college.
Yes.
In the entire United States, he was voted the number one partier in the world.
That's a pretty great, that's a fucking crown to wear.
So once he started doing stand-up, he had this bit about going to Russia as a foreign exchange student and getting involved with the Russian mafia.
Yeah, on the train.
It's a great bit. It's been viewed a billion times on YouTube. But he ended up getting as he got more famous doing stand-up, and they greenlit this movie called The Machine, which is all about that.
It's a sequel to like basically it's like the carryover on that story. So it's not just about like him, the actual story itself. It's what happens now later when he's an adult.
Yeah. So and Mark Hamill plays his dad, and it looks ridiculous. Yes. But they asked him. They said, well, the movie house, the producers of the movie said that, what do you want this movie to make? Like opening weekend? What is your expectations? What do you think it should make? And he's like, and I don't know anything about movies. Like he was like $151 million, $153 million, or something. It was over $150 million. And they're like, oh, bigger than Maverick, huh?
That's ambitious.
Shoot for the moon.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean,
they were doing like ski shots on the red carpet in LA. It was the premiere weekend. Yesterday was ridiculous.
It's coming out now.
Yeah, it's out this weekend. It came out on Thursday. So
I'm curious if
we're recording this on the 27th of May.
All right, so it doesn't say anything about his
you won't know till next week. But he was like super ambitious. They were like, bigger than Maverick.
Like $1 billion? I don't know, Bert.
So anyway,
so
we got bracket. What we got?
So the movies bracket, like I said, is I'm just going to run down the whole thing. So music, we got Psy versus LMFAO, Rebecca Black versus 6699. TV, we got Work It versus Rob. We got Honey Boo Boo versus Dads. In fads, we got Crocs versus Planking. YOLO versus Google Glasses, and then for movies we got movie 43 versus The Devil Inside and the Cobbler versus the last I can't say it, the ass bender.
the ass bender.
I don't feel good about that because I think the Cobbler is going to fucking tap dance all over him. But that's okay. Yep. So it's going to be we're going to keep moving on here, guys. We'll get this out probably in the next couple of days because this is a pretty easy one to put together, and we'll. Keep it on.
We will be down to we'll get the voting started once this releases.
Yep.
We'll start the voting on the next round. And then ultimately after that, we can decide if we want to have a friendly wager regarding because now is when we're actually squaring up against each other.
So we were talking earlier, we were saying.
So let's do it now because technically right now we each have a horse in the race because it's even Steven because we're facing against our own picks.
That's a very good point.
Everybody has the same amount.
Okay.
Right now. I'm saying whoever loses has to eat the one chip from this past year or whenever 2023 releases. Oh my God,
I'm shitting in a fucking bag or.
Well, you won 3 times in a row. Like
I don't know, man.
The likelihood is that I will lose.
No, I mean you say that, but like the chip. Fucked us both up, but clearly it fucked me up more.
Well, I know that's part of this is that the fact is like, listen, man, if I'm gonna go into this,
go with some odds.
Yeah, man, I want some. I've literally lost this every time we've done it.
Yeah.
So the chances are that I will lose again, and if that happens, I gotta eat the chip. But if I catch lightning in a bottle,
all right,
then you gotta fucking eat the chip. Deal? All right, there it is.
I'm gonna eat a chip. Definitely happening.
Well, so what'll happen is whoever loses the podcast following,
they got to eat the chip.
They got to eat the chip on, and then do the rest of the podcast just like we did last time.
Yep.
For the entire rest of the podcast.
I'm going to do what Homer did when he was trying to eat the hot chili and pour wax in my tongue.
You don't want to get wax in your mouth, do you, mister? Shit.
So one last thing we were talking about really quick when we wrap it up. The Fast and the Furious movie. So
Vin Diesel wants to do the female
version of it.
Yeah.
Like this is never going to end. I don't understand. Like, why do people like this? You sent me, I think it was the clips of like the most ridiculous things that ever happened.
Oh yeah, where he caught the car.
He caught a car. A car flipped in the air. Was it Vin Diesel the car or The Rock?
Of course, it was Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel was like this. He like palmed the car, and he like physically impossible. Yeah. People say like, wait a minute. Like this, he's not a superhero. Did he get gamma radiation? What the fuck, man?
Jumped off the hood of a flying car and then like caught the girl in midair and then like
they like rolled
and they somehow angled his body to land on another car that was like it's defying the laws of physics.
Right. If you
in the new movie, he's driving down the Hoover Dam.
Oh, right.
Dams aren't.
Yeah,
they're not like this. They're straight fucking down. It's literally defies the laws.
If you were going down an embankment that's like 15 feet, you'd be dead or really fucked up.
Yeah, the angle's not there.
Right. Like it doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying. Like this doesn't. I didn't. No, in fairness, I've not watched a single one of these movies. Not.
Oh man, maybe I should make you do that instead of the chip.
Zero. Because I was like, this movie. First of all, like I don't know. It just seemed like we're gonna race for cars. And Vin Diesel.
I saw the one in theaters after Paul Walker died.
Which number was that? Like 4,
5, or 6? I think.
Can't remember when he. Yeah.
It was when Wiz Khalifa and whatchamacallit released this song. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Oh yeah, right.
Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, Shawn Mendes.
So that song was insanely popular. Shout out to our boy Wiz Khalifa and Bonix. But like, I saw that in theaters, and again, my girlfriend cried at the end because there's the end where Paul Walker's car literally drives to heaven. I'm not kidding. I will send you the fucking clip. You can put it in here.
That's how we're ending the podcast. We're going to see a car driving to heaven. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.